Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another hard-hitting episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. I want to initiate launch of this episode by wishing everyone out there a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. May you all always have more than enough to be grateful for, and may you have something to be grateful for every day. The 2024 National Football League Week 12 schedule kicked off on Thursday, November 21st, and that was an AFC North matchup featuring the Steelers and Browns. And wouldn't you know it, the obvious pick in that game was picking the Steelers, but it's a divisional game, and the Browns get the win at home in very, very ugly conditions. So there it is. Sunday's games kicked off with an NFC North matchup featuring the Vikings at the Bears. And the Vikings did eke out a win there. So, Adam, I got to say that I think your Bears played the Vikings admirably and probably a lot closer than you'd expected based on what you said when we spoke. But they come up short nonetheless. So the Vikings eke out a very important win on the road. The next game was the Lions and Colts, and no huge surprise there. The Lions do beat the Colts. The Pats defeat the Patriots in the AFC East matchup. The Buccaneers go on the road and just wreck the New York Football Giants. How about them boys? The Cowboys go on the road and roll the Commanders. So it's that time of the year when if you can't be a playoff contender yourself, you can certainly imprint upon those who are or are not, and you may have a say in whether these teams make the playoffs. So as far as I'm concerned, for the Commanders, this was a really, really bad loss at home against a struggling Cowboys team. So, but once again, it's a divisional game, and we all know how close those can be and how they usually end up somewhat unexpectedly. So there you go. The Chiefs go on the road to Carolina and squeak out a 3-point victory. Once again, playing with fire there in a close game. How about the Titans? They go on the road and beat the Texans in Houston. Man, what a statement game. Another divisional game. And it ends in a way that I didn't anticipate nor expect. And this right here could actually end up being, an impactful loss on the Texans as far as, seeding goes and everything, even though I guess they're going to most likely win that division, right? So they'll get to host. But, man, record-wise, I think when it comes to the second round, if they make it that far, I think it falls back to, or no, that would be the... Yeah, it would be the second round, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's not a pretty loss, and not a loss you want to take if you're the Houston Texans. The Broncos and Raiders play. The Broncos get a big win, and they knock Gardner Minshew out for the remainder of the season with a broken collarbone. So that's more bad news for the Raiders, and it just goes from bad to worse. The 49ers go on the road all injured and banged up and just get trashed by the Packers 38-10. The Cardinals lose first place to the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. The Eagles survive the Rams on Sunday night. And the Ravens beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football. So now the post-Week 12 NFL standings are in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills lead the way there. I think it's only a short matter of time before they clinch that division, quite honestly. I think Miami is too far behind to actually make much of an impact there. Although I think the Dolphins can still make the playoffs, and I kind of expect them to at this point. But that's only if they can finish, I think, better than a second place West team. So right now I'm figuring you'll have the Bills, Steelers, Texans, and Chiefs. And then you'll probably have one more come out of the North. And probably one more come out of either the East or West. But I forget. I'm not a numbers genius when it comes to how many playoff teams we get. But it just seems to me like it's not very likely that another playoff team is going to come out of the South. So in first place in the North, you got the Steelers. The South, the Texans by a couple of games. That North, though, that AFC North is still really up for grabs now. That was a bad loss by the Steelers against the Browns. And that pretty much, brought the Ravens right to the heels of the Steelers. That was a game that could come back and really, really haunt the Steelers later on. So the Texans lead the way in the South with a comfortable margin, and the Chiefs lead the West with a really comfortable margin. And then the NFC, you got the Philadelphia Eagles leading the way at 9-2. The Detroit Lions leading the North at 10-1. The Atlanta Falcons leading the South at 6-5, followed closely by the Buccaneers. And then in the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals are tied record-wise, but Seattle has a game in hand against the Arizona Cardinals at this time. So it'll be interesting to see how these things finish up. I got to know, though, you viewers, I mean, what's your team like? Are they on the bubble? Do you think they're going to make the postseason? Let me know in the comment section below this video. My 2024 National Football League Week 13 picks are as follows. Thursday's games start with the Bears versus the Lions, and I'll take the Lions at home. The 2:30 game on Thursday is the Giants and Cowboys, and this game looked like a real stinker before Week 12. It actually looks like it might be a little more appealing at this point, but I'm going to take them boys at home. And then Thursday night's game, the Dolphins at the Packers. This is a very interesting game. This is a bad time of year for a Miami team to go into Green Bay, I fear. I think it's going to be brisk, and it's not going to be nearly as inviting and welcoming as the warm weather of Miami would be. So I'll take the Packers at home against the visiting Dolphins. Black Friday's games, the Raiders visit the Chiefs. And, I love the Raiders. I'd love to pick them every week, but I just can't do that because that would be foolish. So I'm going to take the Chiefs at home against the Raiders. And then Sunday's games start with the Chargers at the Falcons. And I'm actually going to take the Dirty Birds of Atlanta in this game because they are at home. The next game is the Steelers at the Bengals. This is another AFC North matchup, a very important game. And the Steelers should not blow this game, but they very well could. However, I am going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the home Cincinnati Bengals. The next game features the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Minnesota Vikings. And this game is kind of frightening to me. Sam Darnold is subject to turning the ball over. And the Vikings just got a squeaker of a win against the Green Bay Packers. The game's being played indoors, so that's, is a bonus for the Cardinals, I think. And I really want very much here to take the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to, because really, if you want to make an impact that will help get yourself into the playoffs and help battle test you for those playoffs, then you need to win some road games. And this would be a big game for the Cardinals to win. So I'll take the Arizona Cardinals on the road to get the win at the Minnesota Vikings. The next game features the Indianapolis Colts visiting the New England Patriots. And I will take the Colts on the road at the Pats. Although this probably doesn't bode well because you got a dome team coming to play outside, and it's going to be brisk. According to AccuWeather here, it's going to be 37 degrees. So, that weather probably favors the Patriots, and playing outside probably favors the Pats. But I'll go ahead and go with the Colts in this game. Next game features the Seattle Seahawks visiting the New York Jets. And those Seahawks are going to go over there and play in, again, what appears to be like 37 degree weather. Oh man, that is brisk. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Jets in this game, if you can believe that. They're coming off of a bye. Maybe they got right mentally, got better healthy, and we'll see. So I'll just go ahead and go with the Jets at home. The next game features the Titans visiting the Commanders. Once again, another brisk game. According to AccuWeather, going to be 39 degrees there. So I will take the Commanders here to get right against the visiting Tennessee Titans. The next game features the Texans at Jaguars, an AFC South matchup. Texans need to get this win. They need to get their head on right and start playing good football. And I think the Jaguars are just the team to do that against. So I'll take the Texans on the road. Next game, the Rams visit the New Orleans Saints. And I don't really know what to think about this particular game here. It's pretty much a coin toss. Game will be played inside, so weather won't be a factor. So I think I'm going to lean toward the Rams here on the road at the New Orleans Saints. The next game is an NFC South matchup featuring the Buccaneers visiting the Panthers. And if the Bucs want to make the postseason like I think they want to do, I think they'll go in here and get this win. It might be contentious and close, but I think the Bucs get the win there in Carolina. The next game features the Eagles and Ravens, another battle of the birds. And this is a tough game to predict right here, because both these teams have good running games, and I think they'll be tested in this game because of the weather. It'll be 38 degrees. It's going to be brisk. The ball is probably going to be harder to throw, harder to catch. More reliance on the running game. I think I'll go ahead and give the nod here to the Ravens because they are at home. So I'll take the Ravens to win against the visiting Eagles. Sunday night's game features the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Buffalo Bills. And according to this AccuWeather here, it's going to be 32 degrees with possible precipitation. Oh my God. That is not the weather you want to be playing a football game in. But this is what Buffalo does, and not so much what the 49ers do. Plus the Niners are banged up. Looks like the spread here, Buffalo's favored by 7. And I believe that. And so I will take the Bills at home against the visiting 49ers. And finally, on Monday Night Football, Monday, December 2nd, 2024, features an old school AFC matchup featuring the Browns visiting the Denver Broncos. It says game time temp there is going to be about 40 degrees at the old Mile High. And these teams have some history and some serious games, for AFC championships and stuff like that back in the day. And I don't really know what to make of the Browns. They're up one week and down the next, and up one week. They're coming off that win against the Steelers, which is a big win. I don't know if that's going to carry any momentum for them into this game or not. And the Broncos are, playing pretty good football. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here to the Denver Broncos, and I'll take the Broncos at home to get the win against the visiting Browns. Thank you all for taking some time and spending it with me during this holiday week. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please, please, please be good to yourselves and each other. And for those of you interested in joining me on my next live stream, that will be Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024 at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So until then, please be grateful. Please be good to yourselves and each other. And I will talk to you all next week. God bless.